You mentioned like a couple of the concepts like love, the understanding, acceptance, and like how sometimes these practices can help you understand those concepts more. Is there any that you use specifically or have used that have really helped like understand those concepts or like those different points of views or just understand yourself better? Like, is there any go-to practices that you have?
Absolutely. There's one I've been doing recently that's helped me a lot with understanding love. And I'll base it like this, right? So the practice isn't like the practice itself physically isn't about understanding love, but how I interface, like how going into the practice is what I've been working on. So I take a yoga block and I put it right under my back. And then I take a small pillow and then I lean back on it, right? My legs are flat on the floor. And then right, it's your standard heart opener position, right? And then I have my arms out to the side, either open like this or open up like right up facing up, and my head's on a pillow just so it can relax. And in all of this movement, right, like you're making all this room, you're feeling all the stretching, and the first step I go into, just relax. Do not think anything. Do not try to understand what's happening. Do not try to breathe a certain way. Do not nothing. Just the only thing I focus on is relax. And then when I start to allow that to happen, I start to realize, okay, actually, it feels like when I start to want to relax, my shoulder wants to relax and I want it to relax, but it feels like I need to move it in this way. So then I just move it in this way. I'm like, oh, okay, now my shoulder can actually start to move further. Oh my God. And now I can soften it. My chest starts to open up more. And as I'm interfacing and looking at how I want to allow my body to relax and just let it happen as the only thing, I start to recognize, oh, this is me taking care of my body. This is me actually learning a quality of love, right? And then I start to then imagine as I'm softening and I'm making all this room, I like to imagine my heart actually opening up and expanding and just sending out this beam of warm light through all the little spaces and stretches I'm making in all of my little muscle fibers and then into my bones. And then from my bones down to my hands and like fingertips and then down my body, right? So I'm taking this practice of making room in myself by simplifying it, right? Just relax. I'm not trying to stretch to a certain degree. Just relax. And when I relax, I make room. And in that room, I'm now consciously practicing filling it in with this quality of love I'm learning. And as I'm filling it in, I'm also recognizing like, oh yeah, I had this understanding of limitation of what I thought love felt like or what could feel like within me. So then I just allow it to expand. And then I only focus, relax and love, relax and love. And I sit there for about 3 minutes. And then when I'm done, I take a deep breath in and then I come out of it. And I just feel that much more like I actually feel taller when I'm done doing that practice.
Again, I can see it. It comes back down to like a little bit of the intention behind the practice. So it's less
Mhm.
about the block and the movement, but now it's again that you're listening to your body, you're letting your shoulder do what it wants to do, showing love to it. So just kind of like almost just creating the mental space to like go through whatever practice you want to do with the space to hear what your body is saying about the practice and like how you feel during each moment of the practice, what you need at different times and everything. So I think that opens up a lot because then it seems like the way forward, at least like what I'm taking is like explore with a lot of different practices. Like try the
Mhm.
yoga, try the blocks, try the meditation, go for a walk, whatever, and then like see which one kind of like creates the most space where you kind of learn the most about your body or you feel those sorts of things, and then just like go deeper into the ones that you really enjoy and just kind of leave the ones behind that don't really resonate with you, rather than being like, oh, this person said this is a great practice. Like Jesus said, I put the block on my back, I'm going to go do that now. It's like, well, you can try it. Maybe it's not going to resonate the same
Mhm.
way. You can just try all these different things, all these different variations, and then see kind of what feels best in your body.
I've been like right with that block practice and allowing more love to expand and feeling it in my body. To me, that's like taking a lesson. Like I just learned a lesson about how to move more love in my body. And my next practice after doing that is now how do I apply this one thing I learned from this movement into something else in my life? Like the next thing I did is when I was eating, I would sit there and I'd take a bite of my food and I just slowly chew it and allow that same level of love that I was feeling move through my muscles and my bones exist with my mouth and my food and then going down my throat into my stomach, right? So to me, that's that evolution that you're talking about of how do I take this one practice that's either somebody mentioned or something, but how do I actually start to incorporate or whatever there is to learn about me and self-source it, right? To me, everything we're learning about how to use these tools and everything with VST or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. You're developing this level of mastery within yourself so you can self-source all of these lessons so you can be more you. And the more you are, the easier it is to just be a leader out in the world. And that just levels up and the fun and playing field everywhere for everybody. To me, that's like one of the greatest goals.